The teacup felt wrong in his hand. Too small, too breakable. Lucien Crowe stared at the white porcelain, watching steam curl upward like smoke from a gunshot. He didn't drink tea, never had. But coffee shops had too many people and bars had too many cameras. This place, tucked between a flower shop and a bookstore on Beacon Hill, had something better. Mirrors, 3 exits, clear sightlines to the street. He sat at the corner table, back against the brick wall, coat buttoned to hide the shoulder holster pressing against his ribs. His reflection in the window showed what everyone saw first. A scar splitting his left eyebrow, knuckles thick from breaking bones, eyes that didn't blink enough. At 36, Lucien looked like violence took human form and learned to wear expensive suits. The café smelled like lavender and butter. Old women sat near the counter, talking about grandchildren and church. A teenager scrolled through her phone by the window, normal people doing normal things. None of them knew the Northeastern Syndicate's most wanted man sat 15 feet away, pretending to enjoy Earl Grey. His phone buzzed once inside his coat pocket. One buzz meant trouble brewing, business that needed attention but could wait an hour. Lucien lifted the cup, tasted bitterness, and set it down. Through the window he counted cars: blue sedan, red truck, white van idling too long at the corner. He memorized license plates without trying. Old habit, the kind that kept you alive when 12 families wanted you dead. The server refilled his cup without asking. She smiled. He didn't. His phone stayed quiet. Good. Lucien's gaze swept the cafe again. Counter, door, bathroom, hallway, front window, everything mapped, everything calculated, every person assessed for threat level. The old woman with the knitting, harmless. The man reading the newspaper, possible tale, but his shoes were wrong. Too cheap, not syndicate. Then 3 shadows fell across his table. Lucien's hand moved toward his ribs, stopped halfway. He didn't look up. Instead, he watched reflections in the silver teapot behind the sugar bowl. 3 small figures, same height, standing too close. Kids. His fingers relaxed but stayed ready. Pretend you're our dad. The voice came from his left, quiet, desperate, a whisper that barely existed. Lucien raised his eyes. 3 girls stared back. 8 years old, maybe 9. Identical faces, same dark braids, same school uniforms, triplets. But their expressions split 3 ways. One looked angry, one looked scared, one looked like she was doing math in her head. The brave one slid into the empty chair across from him. No permission asked. Please, she added, just for 1 minute. Lucien didn't move, didn't blink. His brain shifted into the mode that kept him breathing for 2 decades in a business where most men died before 30. Is this a setup? Are they wired? Who sent them? He scanned their clothes, school uniforms, but the hems were frayed, shoes scuffed at the toes, backpacks that looked too heavy. They weren't syndicate bait, too genuine, but that didn't mean they weren't dangerous. The second girl, the one with calculation in her eyes, positioned herself between Lucien and her sisters. Protective, strategic. That one met his stare and said 6 words that made his blood stop moving. You have the same eyes as the man who made our uncle disappear. The cafe noise drained away. Silverware stopped clinking. Conversations became static. Lucien's phone buzzed twice. 2 buzzes meant blood, meant someone just died or someone was about to. Across the cafe, movement caught his attention. A woman carrying a wooden tray froze mid-step. The cups on her tray rattled. Tea sloshed over the edges. Her face went white, the kind of white that happens when your worst nightmare walks off a wanted poster and sits in your daughter's cafe. She knew him. Lucien saw it in her eyes, the recognition. The terror people tried to hide and failed every time. She'd seen his face before, maybe in a police file, maybe in a newspaper, maybe in a briefing about men to avoid if you wanted to keep breathing. The woman rushed over, heels clicking too fast against the tile floor. Girls, she said, her voice shook, get away from that man right now. The calculating triplet looked up at her. We can't. The woman's hands gripped the tray until her knuckles matched the porcelain. Why not? Lucien spoke before the girl could answer. His voice came out low, controlled, edged with something that made grown men reconsider their life choices. Because someone's coming for them. The woman went rigid. Lucien didn't turn his head. Instead, he tracked reflections in the window glass behind her. Two men stood outside on the sidewalk, 30 feet from the cafe entrance. Cheap black suits that didn't fit right. Expensive leather shoes that cost more than most people's rent. They pretended to argue over a cell phone, but their eyes kept darting toward the window. Toward this table. Lucien recognized the pattern. Scouts. Watchers. The kind of men who got sent ahead to confirm targets before the real players showed up with guns and solutions. Rival family. Had to be. Probably the Volkov crew out of Southie, or maybe the remnants of the Irish syndicate trying to rebuild after Lucien burned their last operation to ash. He took another sip of tea, tasted like dirt and flowers. He hated it. "Sit down," Lucien told the woman, not a suggestion. Her legs almost gave out. She dropped into the chair beside the brave triplet, tray clattering onto the table. Lucien shifted in his seat, casual as Sunday morning. He draped one arm along the back of his chair, just close enough that the triplets could lean toward him if they wanted. To anyone watching from outside, it looked normal. Looked like a father having tea with his daughters and their mother. To the men on the sidewalk, it looked like ownership. One of the girls, the scared one, whispered near his shoulder, "We picked you because scary men don't mess with scarier men." Lucien almost smiled. The corner of his mouth twitched, that was all. His phone buzzed again, 3 times short pulses. Execution confirmed. Somewhere in the city, someone stopped breathing because Lucien gave an order 6 hours ago. The mother's voice cracked when she spoke. "Why are they here? What do they want?" Lucien kept his gaze forward, watching the scouts through the window. Someone owes someone money. When men like that don't get paid anymore, they don't break kneecaps. They take things that matter. The smallest triplet, the scared one, grabbed his coat sleeve with both hands. "They already took our uncle," she said. Tears balanced on her eyelashes but didn't fall. "Mom says he moved to California, but we heard her crying through the bedroom door at night." Something unfamiliar moved in Lucien's chest. Something he hadn't felt in years. It might have been regret. Might have been recognition. He wasn't sure anymore. The calculating girl leaned closer, voice dropping. "If you're really him, the bad man everyone talks about, then you can protect us. Bad men listen to other bad men. That's what our uncle used to say." Lucien hated how right she was. Outside, one of the scouts lifted his phone. The camera lens caught sunlight. Click. He took a picture of the table, of Lucien, of the girls. Evidence, leverage, ammunition for whatever came next. Lucien turned his head and looked directly at the man. Just looked. Didn't move. Didn't threaten. Just held eye contact across 30 feet of glass and afternoon air. The scout froze, phone still raised, body locked. Lucien lifted his teacup in a slow, deliberate motion. A mock toast. A message written in body language that every criminal in the Northeastern Syndicate understood without translation. "These are mine now. Touch them and die." The scouts left. Didn't run. Didn't look back. Just turned and walked away like men who suddenly remembered urgent business elsewhere. Relief rippled through the mother. Her shoulders dropped. Her breathing steadied. But Lucien stayed tense. Danger didn't vanish just because you stopped seeing it. Danger waited in parking garages and stairwells and quiet moments when you thought you were safe. Minutes passed. The cafe returned to normal. Old women resumed talking. The teenager ordered another coffee. The server wiped down tables and hummed off-key. The mother finally spoke again. "My name is Maribel Hale." She said it like a confession, like giving him her name was the same as handing over ammunition. "And I don't want your help." Lucien nodded once. "Good, trust is expensive in my world." He stood, 6'3" of muscle and scar tissue and choices that couldn't be undone. Already his mind was calculating extraction routes, safe houses, which lieutenants he could call without starting a war. "But they're marked now," Lucien said. "By association with me, those men saw us together. They took pictures. That means everyone they work for knows your faces now." Maribel's face crumpled. Fear replaced relief. "Then what do we do?" Lucien looked down at the triplets. They'd moved without him noticing, positioning themselves behind him like ducklings following a wolf. Natural. Instinctive. "We disappear," he said. Or I teach the people hunting you why fear exists in the first place. Do monsters choose their victims, or do victims choose their monsters? Maribel's hands shook as she unlocked the apartment door. The building sat on the edge of Dorchester, sandwiched between a laundromat and a corner store with bars on the windows. Fourth floor. No elevator. Graffiti on the stairwell walls. The kind of place where neighbors heard screaming and turned up their televisions. Lucien followed her inside, scanning the space like he scanned everything. One bedroom, kitchenette with a broken dishwasher. Living room barely big enough for a couch and a television. Fire escape outside the window. Good. 2 exits counting the front door. Not great, but workable. The triplets filed in behind him, quiet as ghosts. Maribel dropped her purse on the counter. You can't stay here. I'm not. Lucien walked to the window, tested the lock. Flimsy, a child could break it. But you can't either, not anymore. This is our home. This is a target. He turned to face her. You saw those men. They're not coming back tonight because they need permission first. Someone higher up the chain has to approve what comes next. That gives us maybe 48 hours before this place becomes a crime scene. Maribel sat down hard on the couch. The brave triplet, Lucien still didn't know their names, sat beside her mother. The calculating one stayed standing, watching Lucien like he was a puzzle she was solving piece by piece. The scared one clutched a stuffed rabbit and said nothing. Who are you? Maribel asked. Really? You already know. I know what people say. I want to know if it's true. Lucien pulled out his phone, scrolled through messages. 12 new texts, 3 missed calls. Business that couldn't wait much longer. What people say is usually worse than the truth, but sometimes it's accurate. The calculating triplet spoke up. Our uncle said you run everything from Revere to Providence. Said even the police don't touch you because half of them are on your payroll. Lucien glanced at her. Your uncle talked too much. That's why he's dead, isn't it? The room went cold. Maribel stood. Zara, that's enough. So the calculating one was Zara. The brave one was probably the leader, and the scared one was, Lucien still didn't know. It's a fair question, Lucien said. He pocketed his phone. Your uncle got involved with people he shouldn't have. I don't know the details, but men don't disappear by accident in this city. They disappear because someone needs them gone. The brave triplet met his eyes. Did you kill him? No. Do you know who did? Probably. Will you tell us? Lucien walked to the kitchenette, opened the fridge. Expired milk, leftover pizza, half a loaf of bread. He closed it. Knowing who killed someone doesn't bring them back. It just gives you names to hate. Maribel crossed her arms. You didn't answer her question. I did, she just doesn't like the answer. His phone buzzed. One time trouble brewing. Lucien checked the message. 3 words they found her. He deleted it, looked at Maribel. Pack bags for 3 days. 1 bag each, essentials only, no electronics, no phones. We're not going anywhere with you. Then you're dead by Wednesday. The scared triplet started crying. Not loud, just tears sliding down her cheeks while she hugged the rabbit tighter. The brave one, still unnamed, stood up. What's your name? Lucien. I'm Amara, that's Zara. She pointed to the calculating sister. And that's Kiera, the scared one with the rabbit. Lucien nodded. Names made them real, made them harder to abandon later. Amara walked closer, stopped 3 feet away. If we go with you, what happens to us? You stay alive. And after that? I don't plan that far ahead anymore. Zara moved to the window, peered through the blinds at the street below. There's a car parked across the street. Black sedan, 2 men inside. They've been there for 10 minutes. Lucien was beside her in 3 steps. He looked. She was right. Black Cadillac, tinted windows, engine running, exhaust visible in the cold air. Not the same men from the café. Different crew. Faster response time than he expected. They're not here to talk, Lucien said. He pulled his phone out, typed a message to his lieutenant. 3 letters now. Maribel grabbed Amara's shoulder. What's happening? We're leaving. Lucien moved to the door, listened. Footsteps in the hallway, heavy, deliberate, stopping outside the apartment. Knock, knock, knock. Mrs. Hale, a man's voice, polite, professional. We need to talk about your brother. Lucien held up one finger to his lips. Silence. The girls froze. Marable opened her mouth. Lucien shook his head. More knocking, harder this time. Mrs. Hale, we know you're home. We just want to talk, make sure you're safe. Zara whispered, they're lying. Lucien agreed. Safe wasn't a word men like that understood. He crossed to the fire escape window, unlocked it, slid it open. Cold air rushed in. The metal grating outside looked rusted but held weight when he tested it. Out, Lucien said, now. Amara went first. No hesitation. Zara followed. Kiera clutched her rabbit and climbed through, tears still wet on her face. Marable hesitated. My things. Don't matter. The apartment door shook. Someone was putting a shoulder into it. Wood cracked near the lock. Marable climbed through the window. Lucien followed, pulled the window shut behind him. The fire escape groaned under their combined weight. Below, the alley stretched dark and narrow. Dumpsters, broken bottles, a homeless man sleeping under cardboard. Voices came from inside the apartment. Check the bedroom, bathroom, she was just here. Lucien started down the fire escape, metal stairs clanging under his boots. The girls followed, trying to stay quiet. Kiera's rabbit caught on a screw, tore at the seam. She didn't make a sound, just held it tighter. They reached the second-floor landing when the window above burst open. Fire escape, go, go, go. Footsteps thundered above them. Lucien jumped the last 6 feet to the alley, landed hard, absorbed the impact through his knees. He turned, caught Amara as she jumped. Then Zara, then Kiera, rabbit and all. Marable hesitated at the edge. Jump, Lucien said. She jumped, he caught her, set her down. Gunfire cracked the air. Concrete exploded near Lucien's head, spraying dust and fragments. He shoved Marable toward the alley exit. Run. They ran. Behind them, men descended the fire escape like wolves chasing rabbits. Lucien reached into his coat, pulled the Glock from his shoulder holster. He didn't fire. Not yet. Gunshots meant police, and police meant questions he couldn't answer. The alley opened onto a side street. A black SUV screeched around the corner, tires smoking. Lucien's Lieutenant Marcus, built like a linebacker, scarred knuckles gripping the steering wheel, leaned out the window. Get in. Lucien yanked open the back door, shoved the girls inside. Marable scrambled in after them. Lucien jumped into the passenger seat. Marcus hit the gas before the door closed. The SUV launched forward, engine roaring. Behind them, 2 men emerged from the alley, weapons raised. One fired. The rear window cracked but didn't shatter, bulletproof glass, installed last year after a hit went wrong in Southie. Marcus took a hard left, tires screaming. Where to? Safe house, Newton. Newton's compromised. They hit it this morning. Lucien's jaw tightened. Cambridge then, the one near MIT. That's 3 families' territory. Good, they'll be too busy watching each other to notice us. The SUV wove through traffic, running 2 red lights. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. In the back seat, Kiera cried into her rabbit. Zara stared out the window, calculating escape routes Lucien could see forming behind her eyes. Amara watched him, silent, assessing. Marable finally spoke, voice barely audible over the engine. This is insane. This is Tuesday, Lucien said. Marcus glanced at him. Who are they? Complications. We don't do complications anymore. You said that after the Di Marco situation. Plans change. Plans get us killed. Lucien didn't argue. Marcus was right. Attachments were liabilities. Emotions were weapons other people used against you. Every man in the syndicate knew that. Every man except the dead ones. They drove for 20 minutes, switching vehicles twice. Once in a parking garage, once behind a Chinese restaurant where Marcus kept a second SUV. By the time they reached the Cambridge safe house, the sun had set. Streetlights flickered on. Students walked past carrying backpacks, laughing about exams and parties. Normal people living normal lives. The safe house looked like every other brownstone on the block. 3 stories, ivy on the walls, a small front yard with a rusted gate. Lucien had bought it through a shell company 5 years ago. Clean title, no connection to his name. Inside, the girls sat on the couch, while Marable explored the kitchen, opening cabinets like she was searching for proof this wasn't real. Marcus pulled Lucien aside. They're asking questions, the families. Words out you're protecting someone, that makes you weak. Let them think what they want. They're not thinking, they're moving. Volkov crew wants a meeting, so does Chen's group, and the Irish, what's left of them, they're talking about old debts. Lucien checked his watch. Set the meeting for Friday, neutral ground, tell them I'm listening. And if they want blood, they always want blood. Question is whether they're willing to pay for it. Marcus left through the back door, disappearing into the night like smoke. Lucien locked the door behind him, checked every window, every lock, every possible entry point. Old habits, the kind that kept you breathing. When he turned around, Zara stood in the hallway watching him. You do this a lot, she said, not a question. Do what? Run, hide, protect people. No. Then why us? Lucien looked at her, really looked. 8 years old and already reading people like Marcus read maps, already understanding that the world ran on violence and everyone was just pretending otherwise. I don't know yet, Lucien said. Zara nodded like that made perfect sense. Our uncle used to say you were the worst kind of criminal, the kind who doesn't enjoy it. Smart man. He's dead. Being smart doesn't make you bulletproof. Zara went back to the living room, left Lucien standing in the hallway with his own ghosts. His phone buzzed, one time. He checked the message. Leak confirmed, source internal, uncle was embedded asset, target you. Lucien stared at the screen until it went dark. Then he looked at the triplets sitting on the couch, at Marable making tea in a kitchen that wasn't hers, at this life he'd accidentally walked into. The girls hadn't chosen him randomly in that café. They'd known exactly who he was. And that changed everything. Morning came gray and cold. Lucien hadn't slept. He sat in the armchair by the window, Glock on his lap, watching the street. Students trudged to early classes. A mail carrier made deliveries. A woman walked 3 dogs. Normal life happened outside while Lucien calculated how many ways this could end badly. All of them probably. The girls woke first. Zara emerged from the bedroom, hair still braided, yesterday's uniform wrinkled. She studied Lucien for a moment, then went to the kitchen. Kiera followed, rabbit tucked under her arm. Amara came last, moving like she was ready to run at any second. They didn't ask questions, just sat at the kitchen table and waited. Smart kids, too smart. Marable appeared 10 minutes later, eyes red from crying or not sleeping or both. She made toast without speaking. The girls ate without complaining. Lucien's phone buzzed. Marcus, meeting set, Friday 9 p.m. VOLKOVWANTS blood. Others want answers. He typed back, give them nothing. Marable poured coffee into a chipped mug, brought it to Lucien. You didn't sleep. Don't need to. Everyone needs to sleep. Not everyone has 12 families hunting them. She sat on the arm of the couch, close but not too close. Why are you doing this? Lucien kept his eyes on the window, unclear. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Zara spoke from the kitchen table. He's doing it because leaving us makes him look weak. Staying makes him look dangerous. Right now, dangerous is better. Lucien almost smiled again, didn't quite manage it. She's not wrong, he said. Amara pushed her toast around the plate. Our uncle used to talk about you, said you were the only honest criminal in Boston. Honest how? You don't pretend you're something else. You don't act like you're helping people when you're really just helping yourself. Lucien turned to look at her. Your uncle said that. Before he disappeared, he'd come over late at night, talk to Mom in the kitchen. We'd listen from the stairs. Kiera added quietly, he said you were dangerous but not cruel, said there was a difference. Marable's coffee cup stopped halfway to her mouth. You never told me you heard those conversations. You never asked, Zara said. The apartment went quiet except for the radiator hissing in the corner. Lucien stood, walked to the kitchen, pulled out the chair across from the girls. He sat down, forearms on the table, looking at each of them in turn. Here's how this works, he said. I'm not your father, I'm not your friend. I'm the man keeping you alive until I figure out who's trying to kill you and why. That means you follow rules, my rules." Amara straightened. "What rules?" "First, you don't leave this apartment without me. Not for school, not for friends, not for anything. Second, you don't talk to anyone about where you are or who you're with. Not neighbors, not teachers, not family. Third, if I tell you to hide, you hide. If I tell you to run, you run. No questions, no hesitation." Zara leaned forward. "What do we get in return?" "You stay breathing. That's it. That's everything." Kiara looked up from her rabbit. "Will you teach us?" "Teach you what?" "How to protect ourselves, like you do." Lucien studied her, the scared one, the quiet one, the one who'd cried on the fire escape, but her eyes weren't scared now. They were focused. "You're 8 years old," Lucien said. "Our uncle disappeared when we were 7. We've been scared for a year. Scared doesn't help." Marable stood. "Absolutely not. You're not teaching my daughters." "How to survive," Lucien cut her off. "How to read a room, how to know when someone's lying. Those aren't Mafia skills, Mrs. Hale. Those are life skills." "They're children. Children who almost got killed yesterday because they didn't know what to look for." The room went silent again. Amara broke it. "Teach us." Lucien looked at Marable. She wanted to say no. He could see it in every line of her body, but she was also smart enough to know her daughters were right. Finally, she nodded. Lucien stood, walked to the window. "Lesson 1, observation. Zara, tell me what you see outside." Zara joined him at the window. "Students, male carrier, woman with dogs." "Deeper." She looked harder. "The male carrier's wearing the right uniform, but his bag looks empty. He's not really delivering mail." "Good, what else?" "The woman with the dogs keeps looking at this building. She's walked past twice in 10 minutes. And she's not walking the dogs, she's watching us." Lucien nodded. "Amara, what would you do about it?" Amara thought for a moment. "Leave through the back, find another safe house." "Kiara." The quiet one surprised him. "Call someone scarier than her. Make her the one who's scared." Lucien turned to look at her. "You're learning." Over the next hour, he taught them to count exits in every room, to memorize faces, to notice when someone looked at them too long or not long enough. He didn't teach them violence. He taught them awareness. Marable watched from the couch, arms crossed, jaw tight. When Lucien's phone rang, he checked the number. Unknown. He answered anyway. "Crowe." A man's voice, smooth and calm. "We need to talk about the Hale family." "Who is this?" "Someone who knows what they really are. Someone who knows what their uncle was doing before he died." Lucien walked to the bedroom, closed the door. "Keep talking." The Uncle David Hale wasn't just family. He was federal, embedded asset. His job was simple: get close to you, document everything, build a case. Why tell me this? Because his real employers want the case to continue, and the girls heard too much, saw too much. They're loose ends now. Federal agents don't kill children. The man laughed, dry, humorless. Federal agents don't, but the people who killed David Hale aren't federal anymore. They're freelance, and they have a new employer who wants you dead and everyone connected to you erased. What's your angle? I'm offering information in exchange for a favor. You protect the Hales, you stay alive, and when the time comes, you remember who helped you. Not interested in favors. Then be interested in survival. Friday's meeting, it's a trap. Volkov's working with the freelancers. You show up, you don't leave. The line went dead. Lucien stood in the empty bedroom, phone against his ear, listening to silence. He walked back to the living room. The girls had moved to the couch, Marable between them. They all looked up when he entered. "We need to talk," Lucien said to Marable, "alone." But they went to the kitchen. Lucien kept his voice low. "Your brother wasn't kidnapped. He was killed. And the people who killed him are federal agents gone bad." Marable's face went white. "That's impossible." "Your daughters knew who I was the moment they saw me in that café. They didn't pick me randomly. They picked me because they'd seen my picture before, probably in your brother's files." "David would never." "Your brother was undercover. His job was documenting everything I did, building a case. The girls overheard enough to be dangerous. Marable gripped the counter. You're saying my daughters are targets because of what they might know. I'm saying they're targets because their uncle made you all targets the moment he took that assignment. From the living room, Zara called out, "We can hear you." Lucien and Marable went back. The girls sat perfectly still on the couch, faces neutral. Amara spoke first. "We knew." Marable's voice cracked. "What?" "We knew Uncle David was working. We didn't know exactly what, but we knew it was about him." She pointed at Lucien. "We saw pictures, files, heard phone calls." Zara continued. "When Uncle David disappeared, we knew they'd come for us next. We didn't know when or how, but we knew." Kiera hugged her rabbit. "That's why we picked you at the café. Because if someone was going to kill us, we wanted it to be someone who'd feel bad about it." The words hit Lucien like a gut punch. Marable sank onto the couch beside her daughters. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you would have run," Amara said. "And running without a plan gets you killed. Uncle David taught us that." Lucien's phone buzzed. "Marcus, something wrong, feeling it." He typed back, "Abort Friday. New plan NEADED." Lucien looked at the four people sitting on his couch. A mother who'd been lied to by everyone she trusted. 3 girls who understood violence better than children should. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This was a setup that started the moment David Hale took his federal assignment. And Lucien had walked right into it. But now something else bothered him more than the trap. He looked at Zara, the calculating one, the one who'd positioned herself between him and danger from the first moment. "You didn't just pick me because I'd feel guilty," Lucien said. "You picked me for another reason." Zara met his eyes, didn't blink. "Yes." "What reason?" "Because bad men who feel guilty are more dangerous than bad men who don't. Guilt makes you angry. Anger makes you unpredictable. Unpredictable keeps us alive." Lucien stared at her. 8 years old. Already thinking like a syndicate lieutenant. Already weaponizing his own conscience against him. He almost laughed. Would have been appropriate. Instead, he walked to the window, looked out at the watchers who weren't even trying to hide anymore. His phone buzzed again. Unknown number. He answered. The same smooth voice from before. "Time's running out, Crowe. Make your choice. Protect them and die. Abandon them and maybe survive." "There's a third option," Lucien said. "What's that?" "I burn down everyone hunting them and let God sort it out." Silence on the line. "Then, that's what I was hoping you'd say." The call ended. Lucien turned back to the room. Marable looked broken. The girls looked ready. "Friday's off," he said. "New plan. We find who's running this operation and we end it." Amara stood. "How?" "By doing what I do best." "Which is?" Lucien checked his gun, ejected the magazine, counted rounds, slapped it back in. "Making people afraid of the dark again." But as he said it, watching Zara's knowing smile and Kiera's steady gaze, Lucien realized the real truth. He wasn't protecting them anymore. They were protecting themselves. And they'd been using him as a weapon from the moment they whispered those first words at the café. The question was, who taught them to think like that? Because 8-year-olds didn't learn tactical manipulation on their own. Someone had trained them. And that someone was still out there, watching, waiting to see if their plan would work. The basement smelled like rust and old concrete. Lucien dragged the man down the stairs by his collar, feet bumping against each step. The man's nose was broken, blood running down his chin, hands zip-tied behind his back. He'd been watching the safe house for 3 days. Lucien had let him watch, let him report back, let him think he was invisible. Then Lucien took him. Marcus stood at the bottom of the stairs, arms crossed. "This the one from the sedan." "Driver," his partner ran. Lucien dropped the man into a metal chair, used another zip tie to secure him to the frame. "Won't get far." The man spat blood onto the concrete. "You're dead, Crowe. You just don't know it yet." Lucien pulled up a second chair, sat down facing him. "Who sent you?" "Go to hell." "Already there, question stands." The man laughed, winced from the pain. "You think you're protecting them. Those girls, you're making it worse. Every hour they're with you, more people want them dead." Lucien leaned forward. Names. Can't give what I don't have. Then give me what you do have. The man's eyes shifted toward the stairs, nervous, calculating. Lucien didn't turn around. He already knew. Footsteps on the stairs, light, careful. Zara appeared at the bottom, Amara behind her. They stopped 3 feet away, staring at the man in the chair. Lucien stood, upstairs now. Zara didn't move. Is he one of them? That's not your concern. He watched our building for 3 days. I saw him. Same car, different parking spots, same face. She pointed at the man. He's working for whoever killed our uncle. The man's expression shifted. Recognition, fear. Amara stepped closer. You know us. I don't know anything, the man said. Too fast, too defensive. Zara tilted her head. You look scared when I said our uncle's name. That means you know what happened to him. Lucien put himself between the girls and the man. Upstairs. Last time I'm saying it. We deserve to know, Amara said. It's our uncle, our family, our lives. You deserve to stay alive. Knowing gets you killed. Not knowing already almost got us killed, Zara countered. At the café, at the apartment, we're targets either way. At least let us understand why. Lucien looked at Marcus. His lieutenant shrugged. Your call, boss. The man in the chair spoke up, voice changed. Softer now, resigned. You want to know why? Fine. Your uncle was a federal agent. Took an assignment to infiltrate Crowe's operation. Spent 2 years building a case. Then he got sloppy, started caring, started protecting people he should have been documenting. Protecting who? Amara asked. You, your mother. He found out his handler was dirty. Found out the case wasn't about justice anymore. It was about control, about having leverage over Crowe and everyone connected to him. Zara crossed her arms. So they killed him. So he disappeared himself, went underground, tried to warn your mother, but they found him first. Lucien watched the man's eyes. No deception, no games, just tired truth from someone who'd seen too much. Who's they? Lucien asked. Consortium, mix of dirty feds and private contractors. They work for whoever pays. Right now, they're working for someone who wants you gone and wants your operation carved up for sale. Names. Agent Devin Pierce, former FBI, runs the operation. Vincent Shaw, former DEA, handles enforcement. And the money man, the man hesitated. Say it, Lucien said. Senator Richard Cartwright, he's the one funding everything. Wants the Northeastern Syndicate dismantled so he can rebuild it under his control. Cleaner, more profitable, less messy. Silence filled the basement. Marcus broke it, a senator. Former senator. Lost his seat 2 years ago, still has connections, still has money, still has ambition. Lucien processed the information. A former senator building a criminal empire using federal agents as muscle. It tracked. It made sense. It was also proof that the system was more corrupt than any syndicate could ever be. Where do we find Pierce? Lucien asked. You don't, he finds you. Friday meeting. That was his setup. You show up, you get arrested on federal charges that stick because half the evidence is real. You don't show up, he escalates. Either way, you lose. Amara spoke quietly. What about us? Why do they want us dead? The man looked at her, really looked at her. Because your uncle told you things before he died. Codes, locations, names. He thought you were too young to understand, but kids remember everything. Pierce knows that. Shaw knows that. They can't risk you remembering the wrong thing at the wrong time. We don't know any codes, Zara said. Doesn't matter, they think you do. In this business, perception is reality. Lucien stood. Marcus, take him to the secondary location, keep him comfortable. He cooperates, he walks, he runs. He doesn't. Marcus hauled the man up, started toward the stairs. The man looked back at Lucien. You're going after them, aren't you? What do you think? I think you're walking into a war you can't win. Pierce has 50 men. Shaw has resources you can't match. And Cartwright has lawyers who will bury you in paperwork before you get close. Lucien smiled. No warmth in it. Good. I work better when the odds are bad. Marcus took the man upstairs. The door closed. Lucien turned to face the girls. They stood side by side, identical faces, different expressions. Zara looked thoughtful. Amara looked angry, neither looked scared. Your mother doesn't know you're down here, Lucien said. She's sleeping, Zara replied. We waited until her breathing changed, took 20 minutes. You can't be part of this. We already are part of this. You said it yourself, we're targets, might as well know why. Lucien walked past them, started up the stairs. They followed. In the main room of the safe house, Lucien pulled out his phone, opened an encrypted app, typed a message to his remaining lieutenants. Short, direct, Friday CANCLLED. New target, Pierce. Shaw, CARTWRIGHT. Full mobilization. Responses came back within seconds. Confirmations, questions, concerns. Lucien ignored the concerns, addressed the questions, confirmed the target. Amara sat on the couch arm. You're going to kill them. I'm going to stop them. That's the same thing in your world. Sometimes. Zara joined her sister. What happens to us after you stop them? Lucien looked at her. What do you want to happen? We want normal, school, friends, no more running. Normal costs blood. You ready to pay that price? We already paid it. Uncle David paid it. Our mom paid it. We've been paying it for a year. Kiara appeared in the bedroom doorway, rabbit under one arm, rubbing her eyes. Are we leaving again? Not yet, Lucien said. When? When it's safe. When's that? Don't know yet. Kiara walked to the couch, climbed up between her sisters. They wrapped around her automatically. Protection, comfort, survival instinct disguised as affection. Lucien's phone rang. Unknown number, he answered. The smooth voice again. You found one of Pierce's men. Good, faster than expected. Who are you? Someone who wants the same thing you do. Pierce gone, Shaw neutralized, Cartwright exposed. Why help me? Because you'll do what I can't. You'll cross lines I'm not allowed to cross anymore. Anymore? A pause. I used to work with David Hale, before he went underground, before Pierce turned. I tried to stop it, failed. Now I'm trying to finish what David started. By using me. By helping you, there's a difference. Not to me. The voice hardened. Pierce is moving tomorrow night. He's hitting 3 of your safe houses at once, trying to flush you out. Shaw's coordinating. Cartwright's watching from his estate in Greenwich, waiting to see if his investment pays off. How do you know this? Because I'm still inside, barely, but inside enough to see the plans. Lucien walked to the window, looked out at the empty street. What do you want in return? Nothing. Just stop them before they kill anyone else I care about. The line went dead. Lucien lowered the phone. 3 safe houses. Tomorrow night. That meant he had less than 24 hours to move assets, relocate people, prepare for a coordinated assault. Or he could do what Pierce wouldn't expect. He could attack first. Marable emerged from the bedroom, hair tangled, eyes still heavy. What's happening? We're ending this, Lucien said. How? By going after the people hunting us before they finish their plan. Marable looked at her daughters on the couch. And them. They stay here, Marcus will guard them, I'll handle Pierce. Zara stood up, no. Lucien turned, no. You can't leave us here. If you fail, we die. If you succeed but don't come back, we die. Either way, we're safer with you than without you. You're 8 years old. We're targets, age doesn't change that. Amara joined her. She's right, we go together or we all die separately. Marable stepped forward. Absolutely not. I'm not letting you take my daughters into a war zone. Then you all stay here and hope I win, Lucien said. Hope Pierce doesn't have backup plans. Hope Shaw doesn't know about this location. Hope Cartwright doesn't have resources I haven't considered. Hope isn't a plan. Neither is bringing children to a fight. Kiara's small voice cut through the argument. Uncle David used to say the best place to hide is right next to the thing everyone's looking for. Everyone stopped. Lucien looked at her. What? He said it all the time. When we played hide and seek. When we asked where he went at night. He'd say best place to hide is right next to the thing everyone's looking for. Zara's eyes widened. He wasn't just saying it, he was teaching us. Amara grabbed Lucien's arm. That's it. That's how we win. We don't hide from them. We walk right up to them. That's suicide, Marable said. No, Zara countered. It's tactical. They're looking for girls running scared. They're not looking for girls standing next to the most dangerous man in the city, daring them to make a move. Lucien studied them. These children who thought like strategists, who'd survived a year of fear by learning to weaponize it, who'd chosen him in a café not out of desperation but calculation. He made a decision that would either save them all or kill them all. Fine, you come, but you follow orders without question. You stay behind me. You don't speak unless spoken to. And if I say run, you run until your legs give out. The girls nodded. Maribel looked like she wanted to scream. Instead, she said, if anything happens to them. It won't. You can't promise that. No, but I can promise that anyone who tries to hurt them dies first. That night Lucien made calls, moved pieces, arranged assets. By dawn, he had a plan that would either destroy Pierce's operation or expose Lucien completely. The girls slept on the couch, piled together like puppies. Maribel watched them from the kitchen, coffee going cold in her hands. Lucien sat by the window, gun on his lap, mind running through scenarios. His phone buzzed. Marcus, ready when you are. Lucien typed back, tomorrow, noon, CARTWRIGHT estate. Marcus bold stupid, I'm in. Lucien almost smiled. Dawn broke gray and cold. The girls woke, ate cereal without speaking, got dressed in clean clothes Marcus had brought over. Maribel braided their hair, her hands shook. At 11 a.m., Lucien gathered them in the living room. Here's what happens, he said. We drive to Greenwich. We walk through Cartwright's front gate. We sit in his living room and we tell him his operation is over. Just like that, Maribel asked. Just like that. He'll have security, guards, weapons. I'm counting on it. Zara raised her hand. What's our job? You sit, you stay quiet, you look scared. We're not scared. Doesn't matter. You look it anyway. Scared children make men underestimate what's standing behind them. They drove to Greenwich in 2 vehicles, Lucien and the girls in the SUV, Marcus and 3 other lieutenants in a sedan behind them. The drive took 90 minutes. Cartwright's estate sat behind iron gates, sprawling across 15 acres of manicured lawns and old money. Guards at the gate, cameras on every corner, dogs patrolling the perimeter. Lucien pulled up to the gate, rolled down his window. The guard leaned down. State your business. Tell Cartwright that Lucien Crowe is here to discuss the future of his investment. The guard's face went pale. He stepped back, spoke into a radio. 3 minutes later, the gates opened. They drove up the long driveway, parked in front of a house that looked like a museum. White columns, stone lions, windows that cost more than most people's cars. Lucien got out, the girls followed, Maribel stayed close. 6 guards waited at the front door, armed, tense. Lucien walked past them like they didn't exist. Inside, the house was exactly what he expected. Art on the walls, marble floors, furniture that belonged in a castle. Cartwright stood in the center of the room. 60 years old, gray hair, expensive suit, confident smile that didn't reach his eyes. Mr. Crowe, he said, this is unexpected. Is it? I assumed you'd run, or fight from the shadows. Coming here takes courage or stupidity. I haven't decided which. Lucien gestured to the girls. They wanted to meet the man trying to kill them. Cartwright's smile faded. I'm not trying to kill children. No, you're paying people to do it for you. There's a difference, I suppose. The girls sat on the white couch, perfect, innocent, terrified. Except Lucien knew they weren't terrified at all. Cartwright walked to a bar cart, poured himself whiskey. You have 5 minutes before I call Pierce. Call him now, Lucien said. I want him here for this. For what? For the part where I explain why your operation is over. Cartwright laughed. My operation is just beginning. Pierce has evidence on half the syndicate. Shaw has leverage on the other half. By next month I'll control everything you built. Legal, clean, profitable. You'll control nothing. Bold words from a dead man. Zara spoke up, voice small and scared. Can I use the bathroom? Everyone turned to look at her. Cartwright's expression softened. Of course, Down the hall, second door. Zara stood, walked toward the hallway. 2 minutes passed. Cartwright kept talking. Your mistake was caring, Crowe, caring about these girls, caring about your reputation. Caring makes you weak. I don't care about anything except results. That's your mistake, Lucien said. How so? Because when you don't care about anything, you don't notice when everything falls apart. Zara returned from the bathroom. She sat back down on the couch. Lucien's phone buzzed. He checked it. A message from Marcus, package delivered. Lucien looked at Cartwright. Your security system is offline. Your phones are jammed. Your guards are locked in the garage. And every file Pierce gave you is now in FBI hands. Real FBI, not your corrupted version. Cartwright's face went white. That's impossible. Your bathroom has a window, Zara said quietly, big enough for someone small to climb through. Amara continued, and a network cable running through the wall, connected to your security system. Kiara finished. Uncle David taught us about computers before he died, said we should know how things worked in case we ever needed to break them. Cartwright lunged for his phone. Lucien was faster. He pulled his gun aimed at Cartwright's chest. Don't. The former senator froze. Here's what happens now, Lucien said. You call Pierce. You tell him it's over. You dismantle your operation. You disappear. If you don't, every news station in the country gets files proving a former U.S. senator is running a criminal enterprise using federal agents as enforcers. You're bluffing. Try me. Sirens wailed in the distance. Cartwright's hands shook. I have lawyers, connections, money. Had, Lucien corrected. Past tense, it's over. The girls stood, moved to stand behind Lucien. Marable joined them. Police cars pulled up outside. Real police. Federal vehicles. Agents in suits and badges that weren't bought or corrupted. The smooth voice from the phone calls walked through the front door. Agent Devin Pierce. Except he wasn't corrupt anymore. He looked at Lucien. Your anonymous tip about Cartwright's operation was very detailed. Lucien nodded. I'm thorough. Pierce looked at the girls. And you three broke through military-grade security from a bathroom window. We're good with computers, Zara said. Pierce almost smiled. David trained you well. Cartwright was arrested. Shaw was picked up an hour later. The operation collapsed like a house made of cards. Lucien walked the Hales to the SUV. Police swarmed the estate behind them. Marable stopped him at the car. What now? Now you disappear for real. New names, new city, clean start. And you? I go back to being the monster everyone thinks I am. Amara tugged his sleeve. You're not a monster. Yeah, I am, but thanks. Zara handed him something, a small thumb drive. Uncle David's files, everything Pierce wanted, everything Cartwright paid for, it's yours now. Lucien looked at it. Why give this to me? Because you'll use it right. That's what Uncle David would have wanted. Lucien pocketed the drive. The girls climbed into the SUV. Marable paused. Will we ever see you again? She asked. Hope not, Lucien said. If you see me, it means trouble found you again. She nodded, got in the car, drove away. Lucien watched until the SUV disappeared around the corner. Marcus walked up beside him. You going soft, boss? No. You sure? Because letting them walk away with all that leverage feels soft. They earned it. They're 8 years old. And they just destroyed a federal conspiracy using a bathroom window and a laptop. Age is just a number. Marcus laughed. Fair point. They drove back to Boston in silence. But Lucien couldn't stop thinking about what Zara had said, about choosing him because guilt made him dangerous, about weaponizing his conscience. She was right. And that scared him more than Pierce ever did. Because now people knew Lucien Crowe had something to lose. And in his world, that was the most dangerous thing you could admit. Would the most feared man in the city survive having a weakness everyone now knew about? 6 months later, Lucien sat in the same tea cafe on Beacon Hill, same corner table, same white porcelain cup, same bitter taste he'd never learned to enjoy. But the world had changed. Cartwright was serving 15 years in federal prison. Shaw cut a deal, testified against everyone, disappeared into witness protection. Pierce, the real Pierce, the one who'd been undercover the whole time, retired from the FBI and opened a security consulting firm. The Northeastern Syndicate fractured. 3 families went to war over the territory Cartwright's operation left behind. Lucien stayed out of it. Let them fight. Let them bleed each other. He had enough problems. His phone buzzed, one time. Trouble brewing. He checked the message. Marcus, VOLKOVWANTS meeting, says it's urgent. Lucien typed back, tell HIM I'm retired. Marcus, you can't retire from this life. Lucien, watch me. He set the phone down, lifted his teacup. The cafe door opened, bell chimed. 3 figures walked in, same height, same posture, but older now, taller, faces less round, more defined. The triplets. Lucien set down his cup. They walked to his table, stood in front of him. Zara in the middle, Amara on the left, Kiera on the right. Their hair was different now. Zara had cut hers short. Amara had added purple streaks. Kiera still wore braids, but longer now. We're not supposed to be here, Zara said. Yet here you are, Lucien replied. Mom thinks we're at the library. Does she? Amara sat down across from him. We need your help. No. You haven't heard what we need help with. Don't need to, answer still no. Kiera pulled out a chair, sat down. Someone's following us, different person every day, different car, but always there. Lucien's expression didn't change. You're 9 years old. You don't notice patterns like that unless you're looking. We're always looking, Zara said, sitting in the 3rd chair. You taught us that. I taught you to observe exits, not to track surveillance. Same skill, different application. Lucien looked at each of them. They'd changed, grown, but the core was still there. The calculation in Zara's eyes, the defiance in Amara's posture, the quiet awareness in Kiera's hands which never stopped moving, always ready to run or fight or hide. Where's your mother? Lucien asked. Portland. We moved 6 times in 6 months. New city every time someone noticed us too long. That's smart. That's exhausting, Amara said. We want to stop running. Then disappear better. We tried, doesn't work. Whoever's following us has resources, money, patience. Lucien leaned back. And you think I can stop them? We think you're the only one who can. I'm retired. Zara pulled out a tablet, tapped the screen, turned it to face him. This is from yesterday. Man in a gray sedan. Followed us from school to the grocery store to the park. She swiped. This is from last week. Different man, blue truck, followed us from the library to the pharmacy. Another swipe. This is from 3 days ago. Woman this time. White SUV. Followed mom to work, waited outside for 6 hours, followed her home. Lucien studied the images. Different people, different vehicles, but same pattern, professional surveillance, coordinated rotation. Someone with serious resources was tracking the hails. You get plates? Lucien asked. Zara swiped again. License plate numbers filled the screen. Lucien almost smiled. You've been busy. We had a good teacher. I taught you observation, not investigation. Same thing. Lucien pulled out his phone, forwarded the plate numbers to Marcus. Get MENAMES. Marcus replied immediately. Thought you were retired. Lucien apparently not. He looked at the girls. Go home, I'll look into it. We're not leaving, Amara said. Yes, you are. We came here for answers. We're not leaving without them. You came here for protection. There's a difference. Kiera leaned forward. What if it's connected to Uncle David? What if someone else wants his files? Files are gone, turned over to the FBI. Not all of them, Zara said quietly. Lucien went still. What? The thumb drive we gave you, that wasn't everything. Uncle David had 3 drives, 3 copies. We gave you 1. The FBI got 1. We kept 1. The cafe noise faded. Lucien's voice dropped. Where is it? It's safe. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting until you help us. Lucien stared at Zara. She stared back. No fear, no hesitation, just calculation wrapped in a 9-year-old's face. "You're blackmailing me," Lucien said. "We're negotiating." "That's not how this works." "It is now." Amara joined in. "We need protection. You need the drive. Simple trade." "I don't need the drive." "Yes, you do," Kiera said. "Because whatever's on it is worth following us for 6 months, which means it's worth something to you too." Lucien's phone buzzed. Marcus, plates registered 2 Shell COMPNIS, same holding group, tracing now. Another buzz, holding group OWNED by Hartford Investment Partners. Another, Hartford is a Front 4 Syndicate Reconstruction Fund. Lucien processed that. Someone was rebuilding the syndicate, using Cartwright's old playbook, using federal resources and private money, and they needed David Hale's files to finish the job. "The drive," Lucien said. "What's on it?" Zara shook her head. "Help us first." "That's not negotiation. That's stupidity. If you have something people will kill for, you give it up before they kill you for it." "Unless giving it up kills us anyway," Zara countered. "Uncle David said the drive was insurance. As long as we have it, we're valuable. Valuable people get protected. Worthless people get buried." "Your uncle was paranoid." "Your uncle was right," Amara corrected. Lucien's phone buzzed again. "Marcus found the money source. You're not going to like it." Lucien checked the message. His blood went cold. Funding source, Senator Rachel Cartwright, Richard's daughter. She's FINISHING what he started. Lucien set the phone down, looked at the girls. "You need to leave Portland tonight." "We're not running again," Amara said. "You don't have a choice. The people following you are connected to Cartwright's daughter. She's rebuilding her father's operation. She needs the drive to access accounts, locations, contacts. Without it, she's starting from nothing. With it, she controls everything." "Then we use it," Zara said. "Trade it for safety." "She doesn't trade. She takes. And anyone standing between her and what she wants disappears." Kiera's voice was small, like Uncle David. Exactly like Uncle David. The cafe door opened. Bell chimed. Lucien's hand moved to his ribs where the Glock used to sit. Empty now. He'd left it in the car. Mistake, bad habit, the kind that got you killed. But it wasn't danger walking through the door. It was Maribel. She stormed across the cafe, face red, eyes locked on Lucien. "What did I tell you about staying away from my daughters?" "They came to me." "Because you taught them not to be afraid of monsters." "I taught them how to survive monsters. There's a difference." Maribel grabbed Amara's arm. "We're leaving." "Mom, wait." "No waiting. We're done with this life. Done with his world. Done with running and hiding and looking over our shoulders." Zara stood. "They found us anyway. Moving didn't help. New names didn't help. The only thing that helped was him." She pointed at Lucien. Maribel's voice cracked. "He's the reason we're in danger." "No," Lucien said quietly. "Your brother is the reason. I'm just the consequence." "That's not fair." "Nothing about this is fair." Maribel looked at her daughters, at their faces, so much older than 9-year-olds should look, at their eyes which tracked every movement in the cafe, every exit, every threat. "What happened to them?" Maribel whispered. "They used to be normal children." "Normal children don't survive what they survived," Lucien said. "They adapted. They're still here because they learned. They're here because you made them into weapons. I made them into survivors." Maribel sat down hard in the empty chair. The fight drained out of her. The triplets sat back down. Lucien's phone buzzed. "Marcus, Rachel Cartwright just landed at Logan. She's in Boston." Lucien showed the message to Maribel. Her face went white. "She's coming for us." "She's coming for the drive. You just happen to be attached to it." "Then we give it to her." "And then what?" Zara asked. "We trust her to leave us alone, trust her to keep her word. Mom, she's not going to let us walk away. We know too much. We've seen too much." "Then what do we do?" Maribel's voice broke completely. "Tell me what to do because I don't know anymore." Lucien stood. "You give me the drive, I end this. You disappear for real this time." "How?" "Same way I ended her father. Proof, evidence, exposure." Zara pulled a small flash drive from her pocket, held it up. Everything's on here: bank accounts, personnel files, operation details, enough to bury 10 organizations. Lucien reached for it. Zara pulled it back. One condition. What? After this is over, you stay in our lives. Lucien blinked. What? Not as protection, not as the scary man who saves us. As family, birthdays, holidays, phone calls, normal things. I don't do normal things. Learn. Amara joined in. You're the closest thing we have to an uncle now, and Uncle David would have wanted someone to look after us who actually cares. I'm a criminal. And we're the children of a federal informant, Kiera said. Nobody's perfect. Maribel wiped her eyes. Don't make promises you can't keep. I'm not promising, Lucien said. I'm agreeing to try. Zara handed him the drive. Lucien pocketed it. Stay here, don't leave the cafe. I'll be back in 3 hours. Where are you going? Maribel asked. To remind Rachel Cartwright why her father died in prison. Lucien walked out, got in his car, drove to the address Marcus sent him. A hotel downtown, expensive, secure. He walked through the lobby like he owned it, took the elevator to the 10th floor, found room 1047. Knocked. Rachel Cartwright opened the door, 35 years old, her father's eyes, her father's smile, but sharper, hungrier. Mr. Crowe, she said, I was hoping you'd find me. Hopping or expecting? Both. I have something you want. I have something you need. Which is? A way out. You give me the drive, I give you immunity. No more wars, no more running. You retire for real this time. Live quietly. Die old. Lucien pulled out the flash drive, held it up. This what you're after? Her eyes locked on it. Yes. What's on it worth killing children for? I'm not killing children. I'm protecting my family's legacy. By finishing what your father started. By correcting his mistakes. He was sloppy, emotional, I'm neither. Lucien tossed her the drive. She caught it, looked surprised. Just like that. Just like that. What's the catch? No catch, it's yours. Rachel turned the drive over in her hands. I expected more resistance. I'm tired, you win. She smiled, plugged the drive into her laptop, waited for it to load. The screen turned blue. Then red. Then black. Text appeared. FILESCORRUPTED. Recovery impossible. Rachel's smile vanished. What did you do? Nothing, but Zara did. She's very good with computers. This was empty. This was bait. Real drive is already with the FBI. Again. Along with files proving you're continuing your father's operation. Photos of you meeting with Shaw's replacement. Bank transfers. Communication logs. Everything. Rachel stood. Rage replaced calculation. You're bluffing. Lucien's phone rang. He answered on speaker. Marcus, FBI is at her hotel now. They're coming up. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy, official. Knock, knock, knock. FBI opened the door. Rachel looked at Lucien. You planned this. I learned from the best. 3 9-year-olds taught me that sometimes the best weapon is being underestimated. The door burst open. Agents flooded in. Rachel was arrested without a fight. Lucien walked out, took the elevator down, left through the side exit. Marcus waited at the car. It's done. It's done. What now? Now I go back to the cafe. Have terrible tea with 4 people who refuse to let me be a monster. You going soft for real this time? Maybe, haven't decided yet. They drove back to Beacon Hill. The cafe was still open. The Hales were still there, sitting at the corner table, drinking hot chocolate. Lucien sat down. The server brought him Earl Grey without asking. He took a sip, still terrible. Maribel looked at him. Is it over? It's over. For real this time. For real. Zara leaned forward. So you'll stay in our lives. Lucien looked at her, at Amara, at Kiera, at Maribel. At the family he'd accidentally inherited, because 3 girls whispered 6 words in a tea cafe 6 months ago. Yeah, he said, I'll stay. Amara smiled. Good, because we already got you a birthday present. My birthday's not for 4 months. We know we're planners. Kiera handed him a wrapped box, small, light. Lucien opened it. Inside was a white porcelain teacup, expensive, delicate, perfect. So you can stop drinking from the cafe's terrible cups, Kiera said. Lucien stared at it. For the first time in 20 years, he didn't know what to say. Zara saved him. You're supposed to say thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. They sat there for another hour, talking about normal things, school, friends, plans for summer. Lucien's phone buzzed. Marcus, 3 FAMILIES want meetings, territory disputes, usual chaos. Lucien typed back, handle it, I'm busy. Marcus, busy with what? Lucien looked at the triplets, arguing over who got the last cookie. He typed, learning to be normal. Marcus, good luck with that. Lucien pocketed his phone. The cafe door opened, bell chimed. A man walked in, tall, scarred, familiar. Agent Devin Pierce, the real one. He walked to their table, stopped. Crowe, he said. Pierce. Heard you helped take down Rachel Cartwright. Heard you retired. I did, but old habits. Pierce looked at the girls. You 3 did good work. Your uncle would be proud. Zara nodded, thank you. Pierce pulled out a business card, handed it to Lucien. If you ever want to go legitimate, call me. Security consulting pays well. Fewer people trying to kill you. I'll think about it. Pierce left. Marable exhaled. Is every person from your world going to find us? Probably. That's comforting. I didn't promise comfort, I promised safety. There's a difference. The cafe closed at 9. They walked out together. Marable had parked 3 blocks away. At the corner, Zara stopped. When do we see you again? When do you want to see me again? Next week, same place, same time. I'll be here. They walked away, Marable holding Kiera's hand. Amara and Zara walking ahead, already arguing about something Lucien couldn't hear. Marcus pulled up in the SUV. You really doing this, the whole family thing? Apparently. It'll make you weak. Or it'll make me something worse. What's worse than weak? Lucien got in the car, human. They drove through Boston. The city lights blurred past. Somewhere out there, 3 families were fighting over territory. Somewhere else, new threats were forming. The syndicate never stopped, never slowed, just changed shape. But for the first time in 20 years, Lucien didn't care. He had something more important now. Something that scared him more than any rival ever could. He had people who expected him to show up, to be there, to care. And maybe, just maybe, that was exactly what the world's most feared criminal needed to become something better. Or at least something different. Time would tell. But for now, Lucien Crowe had a standing appointment at a tea cafe on Beacon Hill. With 3 girls who'd whispered 6 words and changed everything. And that was enough. Sometimes the most dangerous thing a wolf can do is choose who to protect. Because once you choose, you can never go back to being the monster everyone feared. You become something worse, something unpredictable, something human. And in a world built on fear, humanity is the most terrifying weapon of all. Thank you for experiencing this journey with us. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you think differently about protection, family, and second chances, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another story that challenges what it means to be human in an inhuman world. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and your insights help shape the stories we tell next. Until next time, remember, sometimes the best protection comes from the most unexpected places.